Hello, my emotional wisdom community. Who is out there? Hello? Oh, I can't. Look who I am with. My significant other. So I want to come on here live and take advantage of the time that I have from here to my nephew's birthday celebration. And I wanted to discuss judgment. This is a perspective in which I invite you to potentially ponder on. See how you can make this applicable to you. How what I'm about to say, you can somewhat find it to be true for you. Okay? That is my challenge. And that's what I actually tell my clients is whatever I suggest that could potentially be happening with you whenever you're experiencing whatever it is that you're experiencing. Challenge yourself by asking yourself, if what she is saying, if I don't see it, but if what she is saying could be true, how could it be true about me? How could this concept that she speaks of, this perspective that she speaks of, potentially be true for me? See, when you have that perspective, when you go into anything with that perspective or with that mindset, oh, trust me, you'll come out of that way more aware. We constantly teach each other things, constantly. Even that person that you think is less aware or less evolved or naive, there's something to be understood when you're interacting with that person. Always. Why do I say that? If we apply the law of mirroring, the law of manifestation, the law of attraction, if you believe that you attract specific people into your reality according to the way you're believing, you're thinking, and you're desiring, and you believe and you understand that the law of attraction works 24/7, it's not under your own terms, it's constantly operating, working, functioning, because it is part of a law of existence, then that means whoever you are attracting into your reality, some way, shape, or form, they share a similar trait within you, a similar vibration, or else they wouldn't be sharing the same space reality as you. So if we ponder on that, right, that's not the concept that we're going to talk about, but this is applicable. This goes hand in hand with where I'm going to go into. If we believe in the law of attraction and we believe that we're constantly manifesting that which we're constantly thinking, feeling, and vibrating in, even that person that you reject, that you want to push away, is vibrating in a similar frequency as you, or else you wouldn't be interacting with them, or else they wouldn't be in your energy field, or else they wouldn't be in your vicinity. So there's a vibrational match. The goal is, how is this person, could this person be serving me? But again, we don't walk around constantly asking ourselves that question. Potentially, when I invite you to ask yourself the question, how is this person serving me, or how are they similar to me, but I'm not seeing it, is when, listen close, is when either you feel the need to judge them or you get triggered by them. You feel an emotionally charged within you. There's a charge, an emotional charge that you notice, either a push away, resistance, uncomfortableness. There's something to be understood about you. There's something that person's doing that it's making you feel threatened, uncomfortable, unsafe, and so forth. So again, if someone comes into your reality, right, and you feel the need to judge them, and you call it your opinion, That's perfect. It is your opinion, and everyone has the right of freedom of speech. But if you feel the need to judge them and you can't seem to shake it off and they kind of control you, or they trigger you, they make you feel uncomfortable, unsafe, insecure, like you want to hide. If they make you feel any negative emotion, there's something to be unveiled, uncovered, unraveled, unwrapped within that person or the circumstance, right? The mirror that person's providing for you. They're behaving a certain way, and in turn, you're feeling threatened. And so therefore you respond to that. And if your response to that takes longer than an hour, and it seems you keep on thinking about it, right? There's a vibrational match there. There's a reason why that triggered you. There's a reason why you feel like judging them and you can't seem to let it go. There's actually a reason. And there's a lot to be understood within yourself if you go into it with those eyes of opportunity. I encourage you to, obviously, let's say you get triggered and get affected, to give yourself permission slip to feel all that. Obviously, that's essential. But in turn, eventually, once you feel a little bit of relief, right, after you give yourself that permission slip to vent or to cry or to get emotional and be expressive, ask yourself, well, why did this have power over me? Why did it make me feel the way that it did? And that's power. That's true power when you start becoming self-aware of the aspect of you that felt very triggered or judgmental towards that person, place, or thing. Because when you unveil what is in the unconscious, subconscious mind, you're more aware of yourself. Therefore, there's more of you that can choose from. See, again, in my previous videos, I mentioned you're only aware of what you're aware of, right? You only know what you know. So if you're only aware of 20% of yourself, imagine the rest of the 80% that is in the subconscious and conscious mind. Technically, you're only aware to manipulate, to move through that 20% that you're aware of self. So the more you're aware of self, indeed, is all the power in the world. It is the beginning for transmutation. The more self-aware you become, that equally means your shadows. Becoming self-aware of your shadows. Please put little hearts if you guys are able to watch this and see me and all that good stuff. I say and I speak of this with passion because there's so much truth to this. As I said in my book, in my chapter, I feel like I'm the poster child. Well, I didn't say that, but I joke around with my clients. I feel like I'm the poster child of attracting what I resist. It's like what I resist manifests, instantaneous, almost so I can realize what is the fear behind it. What part of that am I feeling threatened about? And it's forcing me to see the fears within me by getting triggered or by getting, maybe if I got judgmental or whatever the case may be. And because I use this tool of mine, or the tool that I'm sure I'm not the one that invented this, spirituality awareness is not something that could be trademarked. It is something that's universal intelligence. Not to veer, but this is again very relevant, is haven't you met someone that hasn't read the same books as you, yet they speak similarly? The concepts, the energy, the vibration, their theory is similar to what you learned in a book and you're applying. Well, that's because, again, both of you are tapping in universal intelligence. And I'm just a vessel to deliver it in my way. And then they're a vessel to deliver it in their way. And the goal is to effectively be inspiring others, effectively be providing awareness. And I'm a big believer, the best awareness you can be, or the best example, is you going through it. So if you're that person, again, I'm veering from topics, but maybe the person that's viewing this needs to hear this. If you're wanting to help people, but you don't know how, and you don't know what's your niche, and then you get discouraged because there's so many people out there that you think are better than you, that's not the whole truth. That's not the truth. I mean, yes, I get it. They might have a better system already implemented, but you have a unique expression, a unique vibrational frequency that only you could fill in. And so by you giving yourself that permission slip to explain what you have learned through your own personal experience, and mind you, those people out there that have gone through a lot of pain, your pain is your power. If you want to know what's your vocation and you're lost in life, but you've suffered a lot, let me give you a clue. What you're suffering in is going to, when you unravel that, when you integrate it, when you heal it, is going to be your power. It's going to be how you're going to be able to turn around and show others. I can already give you that insight. If you're lost, yet you've been exposed to a lot of disappointment, rejection, and if rejection seems to be the theme of your life, that's going to be your power when you integrate it, or when you begin the journey of piecing your puzzle together and healing and feeling into it and nurturing it and being connected. That's going to be your power. So, you have a story to tell. Doesn't matter if you don't think you're as good. You do. Anywho, just simply you becoming self-aware and starting the journey, the healing journey, you're already feeling into the big whole scheme of it all. You're already adding into the pot of awareness. Now going back to judgment, there's a lot to be learned if you feel called to judge someone or you get triggered, but I want to focus on judgment. If you're that person that feels kind of called to and feels like you can't help but to judge someone, I invite you to turn the lens back to you, not in shame, not by saying you're the bad one. No, there's something within that you judge that scares you. You might not make sense of it right now, but the deeper you dive into yourself and seek to understand, seek to feel into what is making you resist that person, therefore in turn judge them, the more you try to understand that, and ask yourself all the many questions. What is threatening me? Why did I feel resistance? What am I hearing when they're doing this? Underneath it, this annoyance. What's underneath this cover-up emotion? Because anger, annoyance, frustration, all that is a cover-up emotion. And what is that? What are you talking about? Oh, I know how to get there. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I'll let you know when it shows up. So all those are cover-up emotions: annoyance, frustration, anger. We use that because the illusion is that it makes us feel more empowered. I mean, for the sake of vibration, it is a more empowered feeling. That's why we resort to anger, to funnel our sad emotions, to funnel our powerless emotions, and our, more of shame emotions. We funnel it through anger and judgment. So anyway, going back to feeling called, we're going to approach it, but feeling called to tell you about, if you're that person that judges, I'm going to do a part 2 of this video. And I'm going to give you an example so you could apply it to yourself. Because I found myself judging. And I didn't realize that there was a fear until I saw this thing arise over and over. And I noticed myself being like, am I judgy? Am I being judgy right now? Am I judging this particular circumstance? I think I am, because I attracted it several times in 1 month. That was my cue. It was like I was able to finally see that I had essentially a fear about this thing that I was viewing. But if you would have asked me without me diving into it that it was a fear, I don't think I technically would have believed it, if you will. I mean, I don't think I would have seen it. But the fact that I started noticing, wait, always, whenever we feel called to judge, to push away, we're feeling threatened. So knowing that in and of itself helped me say, oof, I need to dive deeper here. This is something that I'm still fragmented, unhealed, wounded. And that I will go into once we're done with our event.
Hello.
And we arrived. So part 2 is coming, because I want to give you my example. But again, I leave you with, if you feel called to judge, if you feel called to judge and feel judgy, don't feel bad. Don't feel shame. Instead, seek to understand it, feel into it, lean into it. Ask yourself questions such as, what within this person, place, or thing do I feel threatened in? What am I hearing when I see it? What am I think I lost a low connection, but what am I seeing or hearing when I see it? Because you're hearing something that is threatening you. There's a threat and a fear that you do not want to feel. So ultimately, you're trying to run away from a feeling that actually needs you. That feeling actually needs you. It needs your connection. But the only way you're going to know that it needs you is by leaning into this thing that you're attracting, that's making you feel judgy, or making you feel like you need to judge, but ultimately it's your protective mechanism, because it's something that you're afraid of underneath it all. Anyway, with that, I leave you. Part 2 will be coming. Thank you for tuning in. Please give hearts so I know that you tuned in. Much love.